Okay, welcome back to Uncle Danny Cooks. Today we're going to do my version of Schezwan beef. It is not a traditional Schezwan beef. So if you are a purist and you want to do Schezwan beef, this is not the place to be. Alright, we're going to start with red peppers, garlic, ginger. Okay, we're going to then move on to the other items. I'm doing beef, so I will go over, I'll prepare the beef and show you. But first what I'd like to do is, as seen in other videos, I will peel and cut the ginger and put it in a bowl, and then chop the garlic and put it in a bowl, and I'll add sesame oil and oil. I will end up with this, which is a sesame, garlic, and sesame oil, garlic, and ginger mixture. That's what I'm going to use for my garlic. Alright, I like red hot chilies. I cannot get the Chinese chili peppers in my area, so I can get these regular California red chilies. So these are what I use. So what we're going to do is we're going to start preparing the chilies. Now, I've said it in other videos, but I will say it again in this one. Okay, when dealing with peppers, hot peppers, you need to be extremely careful. All right, just by cutting the pepper now and touching the pepper, I have transferred this capsaicin oil and pepper juice to my hands, knife, and the cutting board. If I were to touch my eye, my forehead, if I were to go to the bathroom and touch my under region anywhere without washing my hands at least twice prior to doing any of those activities, you're going to end up with a severe burning discomfort feeling. It is unpleasant, and I highly recommend you take my advice, and before you do anything else, you clean your cutting board, your knife, and wash your hands a couple times before you do anything else after this. Now, Schezwan beef is notoriously spicy when it's done right. Now, you can mild it up. Now, that means that to get even spice, to get the most out of the peppers, I can leave the seeds and cook with the seeds and the pepper. I do have a couple people in my household who are adverse to severely hot food. Not completely, but too much spice and it'll be turned off for them. So I'm going to use just that in terms of seeds. The rest of the seeds I am scraping out and throwing out. I know it is a waste, but for my family, that is what I have to do. Now, you're going to be cooking for your own taste profiles and what you guys like. If you want to use a less hot pepper, like a jalapeno or something that's even less hot than that, you're more than welcome to. If you don't want to use hot pepper, you don't have to. A red pepper will give you the pepper, red bell pepper will give you a pepper flavor, but not the capsaicin. You'll sweeten it up a little bit, okay? Now, I am cooking for a family of 5, so I'm going to be cooking a bit more than normal. I'm going to be using about 2 pounds of beef. Okay, so I'm going to be going through at least 3 of these, if not 4 of these peppers. Okay, and now for the benefit of my wonderful daughter, I'm going to get rid of the rest of the seeds here. Okay, and we're going to get this all cut up, and then we're going to move on to the next ingredients. Alright, so you can do Schezwan with chicken or any other protein. I'm using beef. Alright, you can take a nice steak and slice that down. This is what I had available to me right now, so this is what I'm going to be using. This is a beef for stew. It's a cubed beef. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is just make some little strips, okay? We're not talking thick. It's little strips, not too thick, not too thin. You know, it should be able to not overcook. We don't want to overcook it. We want it nice and tender when we do eat it, okay? So for this recipe, this is the beef I'm using. And you can see, you know, it's just do the best you can. This is, again, we're not doing this for presentation, okay? I can't emphasize that enough. This is a tutorial. These are basic skills I'm trying to teach you. These are things that you are going to build on yourself. You're going to do basic recipes that you can build on yourself, that you can have the tools and the ability to move on and really start cooking for yourself and be confident in the kitchen to try new things. Okay? I'm not a professional, and I don't, unless there's a professional watching, this is mostly for my nieces and nephews, or for whoever wants to learn, basic stuff. This is, if we were going to do this for presentation, it's a different way. You do things slightly differently, make everything as perfect as you can, and I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. And really what I want to do for this video is just give you a hands-on, easy way of doing things. So there's going to be a lot of things that I do that you won't see done by professional chefs. Not because it's not right to do, but because I just like taking easy roads. I'm cooking all the time. All right, so as you can see, that is the trying to get as much. I'm trying to get this done as quickly as we can. I got 1 more pound to cut up here. Again, like I said, strips. I'm not perfect. Nothing's perfect. You don't have to make this perfect. It's all about flavor. Okay? This is all about trying new things, trying new flavors, and trying new techniques. So, for me, that is what I'm trying to do, is just pass on to you guys love of eating, the love of cooking, and trying new things, keeping your eyes open for new ideas that you can try. All right, but eventually have the skills so that you can actually see something and say, I can do that. So with the with this, there's these new batch of videos I'm doing are a lot of Asian themed. I'm having a Asian themed weekend. Like I said, I'm not a professional, and these are not the traditional recipes, but they taste really good. And they have a lot of the same components as the traditional recipes. This is the closest approximation that I'm willing to go to for a Schezwan beef. I just don't have access to the correct ingredients for a proper Schezwan beef. So I'm going to do it to the best of my ability with the ingredients I have available to me. And I expect that you will do the same, because this is what these videos are about. Okay? Now you'll see there's some fat in some of this. It's marbled in there. It's layered in there. Fat is good. That's what's going to get it nice and tender. We want to have fat. Lean meat, you have to be very careful with, because it will be tough if it's cooked too quickly, because there's no fat. All right, fat does make the meat a little bit more tender. It also gives it that yummy flavor. Not too much. Moderation. We don't want too much fat in our life here. All right. So now I serve the Schezwan beef with rice, okay, and I also serve it with steamed broccoli, okay, and we're going to go into that later on here, but I'm just trying to get this done. Now we have our beef. I'm going to take some of this pepper that I chopped up, okay, this nice fresh hot pepper, all right, and I am going to take some of this delicious garlic, ginger, and sesame oil, and throw it in the bowl here. Alright, and then I'm going to take some of this yummy, actually this is just soy sauce, Okay, how much am I putting in here? Enough to coat all of the pieces. What we're going to do now is we're just going to coat all of the pieces. It's coated in the soy, the ginger, the garlic, the sesame oil, and the hot pepper. Oh, and you know, I'm not even cooking it, and I'm getting this sensation. You know, you can smell the garlic and ginger and sesame. All right, and then you get that little bit of a kick on the pepper side with the soy, with the smokiness of the soy. I say smokiness, but it's not quite word. All right, so everything here is mixed. Okay, we're gonna let this sit now. You can put it in the refrigerator, or you can keep it on the counter. It's not gonna go bad in the half hour. But if you want to put it in the refrigerator, put it in the refrigerator. Cover it plastic wrap. Put it in the refrigerator for a half hour. All right, and we're gonna come back to that. All right, so like I indicated before, I like to use steamed broccoli with my Schezwan beef. So I got myself a couple heads of broccoli, and what I'm doing is I'm going towards the top of the crown and just cutting down right through it. Okay, I'm getting these large crowns. Now obviously this is pretty big, so what I can do is I can just, since I was right there at the crown, I can just break these into smaller pieces. All right, now you can boil this real quick as a quick cook. I have a steamer, so I'm going to steam it, but you want to get these steamed before you're going to do anything else. Also, if you're going to make rice, now would be a good time to start making that rice as well. All right, so I got a wok. It can be a frying pan. It doesn't have to be a wok. I have a wok. That's why I'm using it. Now I filled it up with oil. I'm getting that oil nice and hot. Now, remember our beef that we put in the refrigerator, and we're letting it marinate. Now we're going to add cornstarch. Well, okay, Uncle Danny, how much cornstarch? Well, again, enough to coat each piece. I can't tell you because I don't know how much you're going to be using. I don't want to give you a standard of, you know, of X amount of 2 tablespoons per pound of meat. I don't know. Just play around. It's okay. Now, because we had the marinade per se, it's not going to be dry. It's going to be a little wet. Okay, and that's fine. That's what we want. All right. So we got these nice pieces. They're coated with some cornstarch and the marinade, and we're throwing it into that oil. We're going to do a quick sear with this oil here. Okay. Now we are dealing with oil, so I'm not going to be just plopping it in. I'm going to be trying to put it in a controlled manner because, well, Uncle Danny doesn't want to get burned. Nor do I want you guys to get burned, because you guys do not deserve to get burned. That's what I'm saying. If you're watching my video, you are a good person. I don't care what anyone else says about you. And man, do they say a lot about you. But I'm telling you, I think you're a great person, because you are smart enough to watch my video. So here we go. Alright. Get your handy dandy cooking tool. I like my tongs. Now, because this is cornstarch, it loves to stick to the bottom of the pan, which is fine. Again, we're just trying to do a quick sear on this with the oil. Get a quick cook. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drain some of this out. The oil just wasn't hot enough for all the meat I put in there. So it will be just a little bit longer than normal. Again, for any professional cooks watching me, don't judge. I don't judge you. Actually, I do. Whenever I watch cooking shows, I judge you all the time. But that's because I can. Because I'm allowed to. You're not allowed to judge me. There you go. All right. That all said and done, I don't think anyone professional is watching this, to be honest. And it's quite alright. This is not what I'm here for. I'm not here to get famous. I'm here to get my friends and family some cooking tips to make their culinary experience in life much better. Okay? Alright, I'm going to dump some of this oil out now, and then we're going to let this heat up, and we're going to finish off. Alright, there we go. Still on high heat. Alright. Red pepper. Adding it all in. I have chopped green onion. Adding that in. You can use green onion, yellow onion, red onion. I don't care what onion you use. Now, I'm going to add peanuts are a good addition to this. I don't have peanuts, I have mixed nuts right now. So I'm adding some mixed nuts to this. Oh, look at that big old pecan. That would go to waste. I'm going to eat that one now. Alright? And like I said before, when done right, it'll be a little spicy. Okay, I'm going to add a little chili paste. I like my chili paste. Now we're going to add a little bit more soy sauce. Okay, and I like to add a little bit of brown sugar. Why do I add brown sugar and how much? And it's going to be to your taste profile. Start off with a tablespoon and then move up from there, or move down. Again, why do I use brown sugar to offset some of that spiciness. Now what you're seeing right now is a really good glaze. I want to get a little bit, I'm going to use a little bit of a chicken broth. Now, probably about a cup. Maybe a little bit more. Just to cut this up a little bit. Now, again, because we used the cornstarch, it's all going to thicken up. You got to keep it moving because what happens is it sticks to the bottom of the pan. Now, always taste your sauce. Make sure it's where you want it to be. Add Remember that broccoli? That's what it's tossed in. Okay, and so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get myself a nice gonna give myself a little flavor here. See if I a little taste here. It's tender. It's spicy. Needs just a tad bit more soy. Get that umami flavor in there. Okay, and then I think pretty much this is done. Get some rice, serve it up, and enjoy.